Welcome to Focal Point News, your source for campus news, breaking headlines, and in-depth stories that matter. Coming up on Focal Point.
Businesses like the one behind me are leaving Okemos' downtown in favor of other locations.
Find out how the celebration of Brazilian culture continues at MSU with the Braza Club.
Find out how chicken wings are helping cancer survivors.
New stores in downtown East Lansing seem to be replacing the old ones like that, except for one market.
From the heart of Michigan State University, Focal Point starts right now.
Good morning and welcome to Focal Point News. We're back with the first show of the year. I'm Meg Vandermark.
And I'm Michaela Mazza. It's September 26th and students have been back at Michigan State for 5 weeks now.
We have a lot to cover today. Why don't you start us off with news from right on campus?
2.5 years ago, tragedy struck Michigan State's campus when a gunman opened fire and killed 3 Spartans. A memorial is set to be constructed to honor those that we lost. Focal Point's Laura Butlovics has the story.
It's official. The project to permanently honor those who we tragically lost on February 13th, 2023 has been unanimously approved by the MSU Board of Trustees. Designed by artists Carlos Portillo and Jessica Guinto, the memorial will feature a brand new fountain surrounded by benches and greenery, replacing the fountain located in the old horticulture gardens. This structure will serve as a token of remembrance for those who not just lost their lives, but for every single person who was impacted that day.
It was a really scary situation for everyone.
I went to the Union and I was studying in the big hall. I had my headphones in, but I heard 4 loud pops behind me. So I saw the people in front of me, they kind of scrambled around. So I was like, oh, what's going on? So I turned around and then I just saw people running. So I just ran out as fast as I could.
Not knowing what was going on, that was like the scariest part.
Yeah, it was a pretty unfortunate event.
I definitely had a hard time, understanding why it happened on our campus.
These students have their own opinions on the memorial.
I think it's very meaningful to have a place where someone can be with nature, and I think this memorial does that.
It'll just be of remembrance of the people who were lost that day and of the events that people don't forget.
This fountain is a way to bring people together and just foster that sense of community, which we have here.
From Focal Point News, I'm Laura Butlovics.
The Spartan Strong Fund will finance $300,000 for the memorial, and the rest will be funded from the university's capital reserves. Construction for the memorial is set to begin this fall and is expected to be completed by fall 2026.
Artificial intelligence is quickly making its way onto college classrooms, and professors are debating whether AI is helping or hurting students. Focal Point's City Shabe met up with Michigan State professors on both sides of the debate.
In Michigan State University, college classrooms are changing as artificial intelligence tools become part of learning. This has sparked new conversations among professors, especially about what classes will look like in the future.
Going to start this. But I think it's incredible of what it can do. Especially if people know what they do, they can accomplish so much faster and so much better. So therefore I support it.
Professor Ralph Schmetzley, who teaches communication and neuroscience, believes that AI is a good tool and supports its use in class.
Close your eyes.
At MSU, professors are rethinking what assignments look like in the age of AI. And those approaches, from encouraging it to restricting it, are shaping classrooms in very different ways.
And it really messes with our sense of reality. We really want your creative, original work, not some robots.
Professor Nariman Amin, who is an assistant professor of religious studies, believes that AI can act as a wall in the classroom.
Using AI puts a barrier between us in that regard.
As AI develops, teaching styles in the classrooms will continue to change.
Right? So
I think the point is pretty clear that there's going to be AI. I think trying to shape the development seems more like the approach that I want to take rather than to block it.
In East Lansing, I'm Siddhi Chaube, Focal Point News.
you're for or against AI, it is one of today's highly debated topics.
But AI isn't the only factor changing our future. Focal Point's Liam Clymer found that the effects of an abandoned project in downtown Okemos are impacting the community there. He's live now from downtown Okemos to give us more. Liam?
Thanks, Megan Michaela. I'm here in downtown Okemos, where in 2018, city officials proposed a revitalization project. But as you can see behind me, it's been on hold indefinitely since May of 2023. This once bustling community is now facing closing storefronts, but a local institution is taking notice. Okemos Barber Shop has a deep history in the area.
Since 1962.
Vincent Zaya
So how are you today? Good.
recalls when foot traffic was strong for downtown businesses.
Yeah, I think every place that was here drew their own customer base. So we were all kind of fed off one another.
But now, decade-long neighbors are moving out.
3 of the last here are gone now.
An undeveloped gravel pit sits in waiting at the corner of Hamilton and Okemos Road.
Just everything across the street came down and it's been sitting there. I want to believe it's been 8 years now.
He was hopeful for a warm downtown feel, but at this time,
I don't know if we're going to get there.
in Meridian Township, Amber Clark says she knows the struggles of downtown Okemos firsthand.
There's not one single project I've worked on that's been smooth sailing.
The Village of Okemos Development Project was supposed to update downtown with multi-residential living spaces and modern storefronts.
The project will have to adjust. And so it won't be that quote-unquote Village of Okemos project as previously promoted.
Because of rising material costs, the private developers who own the land had to reevaluate.
That is not something that we've let go of, and that's still a priority for staff and the board.
Clark says that the township is updating roads and plumbing systems to make development more enticing. In the meantime, Zaya says he's hopeful.
They come here purposely.
In downtown Okemos, Liam Clymer, Focal Point News. In addition to infrastructure improvements, Clark said township officials have already greenlit a new tax financing initiative, which should continue to support efforts financially. Back to you, Megan Michaela.
Thanks, Liam. Even though there's been a pause in improvements in downtown Okemos, a few new businesses have come to downtown East Lansing.
Yes, Spartan alums are reaching new heights after graduation, and whether they go far or stay close, their successes are all around us. Focal Point's Jackie Graham has the story.
Right outside of campus lies the infamous Grand River Avenue, and just east of the main drag, a new business, Recharge Pilates.
But what I thought that was missing was a place right here in the downtown area, on this like kind of little strip of Grand River just north of campus.
This isn't your average Pilates studio, but one that's owned and operated by true Spartan alumni.
I am a graduate of Michigan State. I graduated in spring of 2018. I also was on the co-ed cheerleading team.
Both Olivia and her husband felt drawn to create a place for students and the community.
I want to be your child's like second mom while they're here on campus. Like, I want them to know when your child is away from home and far away from you, but they come into this studio, like they're somewhere where they're welcomed, respected, have guidance, whether it's from myself, the instructors, even, you know, the person on the next reformer over, who's a local here like me.
And then of course, getting the glutes hamstring.
So far it's been really, really great. The instructors there are super nice and they make it really easy to learn.
It feels good to be able to contribute to the community in another new way.
Even though the ups and downs of becoming a business owner.
Challenges on the way, there have been absolutely many. Not knowing the process was a big part of it. Every day it was like we were learning something new.
They are reminded to always be open to new opportunities.
Say yes to as many things as you can. The connections you make when you say yes to things will lead you to places like you never could have even known existed.
Far more than just a studio, the Harrises spread Michigan State spirit to the community and proved that Spartans will. In East Lansing, I'm Jackie Graham, Focal Point News.
It is so nice to see some MSU alums really keeping Spartan spirit as a part of their lives even after graduation. Recharge Pilates on Grand River is a place for Spartans to support Spartans and stay active.
And just like Recharge Pilates, downtown East Lansing is known for a variety of stores and businesses that are constantly opening and closing. But one market in particular seems to have found his home on Grand River. Focal Point's Amy Cho visited Campbell's Market Basket to share their story.
This isn't where you would typically find farm-to-table food items. Except at Campbell's Market Basket, you can.
What do you mean?
Owner Ken Campbell first opened the store in 2019, hoping to fill a community need.
I'd say just specialty goods and services that I think we're really missing downtown.
And as an East Lansing local, Campbell couldn't think of a better place to run his store.
I think it's a great location to help people that I know.
For regulars like Emma Kubley, the store has been a staple in their lives.
It feels like a farmer's market, and I really like that.
Since its opening, Campbell's Market Basket has stood strong, even as neighboring stores have already moved out. But not without any adjustments. Starting as a singular storefront, the market eventually expanded into two. However, just last April, Campbell decided to go back to one.
We have a better setup, a better lease, better space for long-term, I think, success over here.
Employee Megan Gagler says the change has actually been beneficial.
I think it has been more convenient for people in some ways because now all of our stuff is in one place.
Although neighboring stores are being replaced with 4 lease signs, Campbell believes that his store has an advantage.
We understand, the cycle of business and the cycle of summer students.
Even with constant changes, Campbell's Market Basket seems to have made Grand River its home. In East Lansing, Amy Cho, Focal Point News.
Owners say the future could bring additional locations for Campbell's Market Basket and add more local grocers to our mid-Michigan community.
Absolutely, Meg. We have to take a quick break, but don't fret. We have a lot more news lined up for you.
Up next, see how students find community through the MSU Yarn Circle.
And learn how the ELPD manages bar goers on Grand River.
All that and more coming up on Focal Point. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Focal Point News. Now, something I'd venture to say everyone enjoys is relaxing. And I heard just one way to do that is knitting.
Now, I myself don't knit, but I did get a chance to talk with some students who do. Knitting and crochet may seem like dated hobbies, but they have made a resurgence in the past few years, even on our MSU campus. I joined the MSU Yarn Circle for one of their meetings. Here's the story.
It looks so simple, just some yarn and needles. But for the MSU Yarn Circle Club, it means so much more.
Because it is an art form, so.
Club President Lyra Moore knows they are weaving together more than just yarn.
At first we were just meeting in this tiny room in the library, and there were 10 people that came, maybe, and now we get 40 members regularly.
Charisma has been crocheting since the 5th grade, but this is her first visit to the Yarn Circle.
I wanted to join the MSU Yarn Circle because I'm looking for a group of people who are artistic in the way that I am.
Even Yarn Circle veterans like Natanya keep coming back for the community.
I fell in love with the people, and yeah, I never stopped coming back.
The MSU Yarn Circle meets every Tuesday of the month from 6 to 7:30 to give members a chance to unwind after a long school day.
People can come together over a niche shared hobby and just be able to bond over that and, you know, form relationships outside of that as well.
For members, it's all about turning those simple motions into something that makes a huge campus feel just a little bit smaller. Reporting at Michigan State University, Michaela Mazza, Focal Point News.
For more information on the MSU Yarn Circle, you can check out their Instagram at MSU Yarn Circle.
It's great to see the MSU community come together through knitting. There's something about cozying up by the fire with some knitting needles.
But I don't know if we're going to need a fireplace started just yet. Focal Point's Brooklyn Burchell is over at the weather wall with the forecast for us today. How's it looking out there, Brooklyn?
Thanks, Michaela, and happy fall, everyone. But you're right, it's not looking like fireplaces just yet with the warm weather we've got hanging around. Started off across the nation, much of central and western U.S. is waking up to clear skies and mild temperatures. The West Coast has a mix of coastal fog early this morning, clearing into sunny skies with highs in the 70s and 80s, while inland areas like Sacramento and Phoenix are heating up a bit more, reaching the low 90s and upper 80s, with a few scattered thunderstorms in the desert southwest. The Central Plains and Midwest are enjoying warm, dry conditions, while highs mostly in the upper 70s and mid 80s. Meanwhile, the southeast is the wetter spot today, with scattered showers and storms pushing through, while the northeast starts cool but dry with highs in the 70s and low 80s under partly cloudy skies. Here in the Great Lakes region, it's shaping up to be a beautiful day. Most of Michigan and surrounding states will stay dry with partly to mostly sunny skies. Morning temperatures are starting in the low 80s to low 60s, climbing into the upper 70s to low 80s this afternoon, which is just above average for what we'd expect for late September, but hey, I'm not complaining. We've got Detroit and Grand Rapids reaching about 78, Chicago at 81, and Minneapolis topping out near 70 degrees. Winds are light from the west, so no major systems are moving through, making this Friday a beautiful one across the region. Taking a look at our 7-day outlook here in East Lansing, today we started off with some patchy morning fog, but that's clearing into partly cloudy skies and will warm to a comfortable 79 this afternoon before cooling back to the mid-50s overnight. Going into this weekend, it's looking absolutely beautiful with lots of sunshine and highs reaching the low 80s. So even though there won't be a football game at home this weekend, definitely find time to get outside before the sun goes down. As we head into Monday, the sunshine sticks around and will top out near 84 degrees, which again is fine, but I personally am in no rush to get to that cold weather. Tuesday brings a mix of sun and clouds, but still warm with highs around 81. By Wednesday, things start to cool down with a little sun and some clouds, but mostly sunshine and highs around the mid-70s. And then Thursday brings us back into more seasonal territory with the highs in the low 70s and intervals of clouds and sun. So if you've been waiting for that classic Michigan fall weather, you'll have to just be patient just a little longer, so don't put your summer clothes away just yet. There is definitely still time to take advantage of that summer weather we'll all miss in the next few months. That's a look at your 7-day forecast here in East Lansing. Have a great weekend. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Brooklyn. I can guarantee that no matter what the weather this weekend, there are going to be students going out on Grand River.
And that's not just this weekend. There are students nearly every single night heading out to Grand River for some fun. And these large crowds often lead to chaos. Who deals with that chaos? The East Lansing Police Department. Focal Point's Jack David caught up with the ELPD to see how they control these weekend crowds.
If you go out on Grand River or Albert Ave on any night, you're sure to see lines upon lines of students ready to party.
On the days that I go out, it's pretty packed.
Pick one or two. I'd say like Fridays and Saturdays are the most busiest because those are the weekends.
Sadly, I'm not going out tonight, but there's a lot of other people that are. These large crowds can create a lot of stress for the East Lansing Police Department.
To handle that stress, the police department makes sure that they're prepared by overstaffing.
We staff our day shift and our night shift patrol heavier on the weekends.
and adding safety measures.
The additional lighting that we put down.
Many students have their own interactions with the ELPD.
My friend Nick has had experience before.
I've seen the police interact with others either in line or just walking on the streets.
But it's not just up to the police department to keep students safe. Students need to stay connected.
So you got to start working with friends and family to let them know where you're at.
And use the resources that they have.
You can use the technology on information sharing on your apps.
Stay safe, East Lansing. From Focal Point News, I'm Jack David.
And if you go out, make sure to communicate with others to stay safe. But if the bars aren't your cup of tea, you might be interested in some chicken wings with a side of giving back.
Lansing had both of these this Labor Day weekend. The Michigan Chicken Wing Festival returned to Lansing and raised money for the nonprofit Against All Odds, while also bringing chicken lovers together. Focal Point's Gabriel Klein has the story.
The Michigan Chicken Wing Festival calls Lansing home. Its goal is to not just provide great wings, but to help the greater Lansing community.
The Chicken Wing Festival is a very important part of our fundraiser for my nonprofit Against All Odds.
As a two-time breast cancer survivor, Shirley focuses on helping others facing similar challenges.
When the festival is something we need to, help raise funds for our free boutique and to help support the nonprofit, which covers people in the county, Tri-County really, for everything from homeless to low income to the underserved community, especially cancer survivors and breast cancer survivors.
This festival also offers the community a place to bring their family, eat, and enjoy live music every Labor Day weekend. Honeybees, last year's Best Wing winner, is back to defend the title while lifting the community.
I believe that what they're doing here for the community is a beautiful thing. I also believe that last year we won, so I'm trying to come back and defend the title and win again this year.
I have their signature wing in my hand right now. They won the award for Best Wings last year at the event. Let's see what it's about. Wow. And yeah, that sauce is exceptional. Holy cow.
From supporting cancer survivors to celebrating good food, the festival serves up flavor and community in Lansing. In East Lansing, I'm Gabriel Klein, Focal Point News.
Proceeds benefit Against All Odds, which provides free resources and support to cancer survivors and underserved families. And the Michigan Chicken Wing Festival is slated to be back next Labor Day weekend.
For decades, there have been many cultural clubs on Michigan State's campus that help connect students from different backgrounds. But this year, one club was threatened with cancellation. Focal Point's Griffin Makrovich spoke to members of the Brasa Club to find out why and what changed.
Finding your people on campus can be difficult, especially for the thousands of international students who travel to East Lansing for college every year.
When you go to a new country or a new school, you can sometimes feel like alone or like there's no one really around you.
Luckily for these students, MSU hosts a variety of clubs on campus dedicated to the celebration of heritage and culture, such as the Brazilian Brasa Club.
It's kind of the unison that it brings together, and without it, I feel like there would definitely be people where they feel like they're not fully understood with the people around them.
Brasa members get together every Sunday to play traditional games, such as foot mesa, a crossover between soccer and ping pong, and cook traditional Brazilian food.
We like to keep this tradition of serving kind of the next generation and helping them out.
The club started over 10 years ago, but was almost dissolved this year when nobody applied to be the president. That was until Arthur Oliveira stepped up.
I didn't want to see it closed down. No one want to put like their face as the responsible for the club, and I didn't want the club to die just because of that.
Inside of the Multicultural Center behind me, the new Brasa Club president is working on securing funding for a club that many Brazilian students tell me they've come to rely on. But this year, due to a lack of members, funding might be running dry.
Brasa is about to die because no one want to be the president, and I feel it helped me so much through the years. Even simple things that for an American will be easy, for us we don't even know how to do it because it's different in our country.
Former club president Giovanni has faith that Arthur can get Brasa back on track.
He's the one that's capable of making Brasa become one in total and make everyone get together once again.
In East Lansing, I'm Griffin Makrovich, Focal Point News.
You can check out the Brasa Club on Instagram at Brasa MSU. To search clubs that celebrate cultural heritage, head to the Clubs and Organizations page at msu.edu.
Thanks, Griffin. We'll need to take a quick break, but we'll be right back with more right after.
Up next, check out the world's largest lug nut right here in Lansing.
And how the Meridian Township Fire Department flips pancakes for muscular dystrophy.
Jack David gives us a rundown on MSU sports this week and see how community comes together through dogs and coffee.
All that right after the break.
What makes the Big Ten so big? For starters, it's coast to coast. 18 of the country's most iconic universities. It's 110,000 people going berserk in a whiteout bid. It's defend the rock, jump around, and the biggest bass drum on earth big. It's a stadium so big.
They had to name it the Big House. Go Blue!
It's dotting the I big.
Let's go Bucks.
It's all-time leading scorer big. It's Husker Tunnel Walk big. And Paul Bunyan's axe big. It's Rutgers Rock, Fear the Turtle, Oski Wow Wow, and Sparty doing big Sparty things. It's red, scarlet, maroon, cardinal, purple, green, black, yellow, gold, orange, and any other color under the sun big. And now that USC, UCLA, Oregon, and Washington have joined the party, it's feeling real big. Right, Matt?
I'm ready. Fight on. Boys up, baby.
Let's get it. Go Dogs. Nah, it's all about the O.
And where can you catch more sports, games, matches, hits, goals, saves, aces, buzzer beaters, sprints, spikes, putts, pins, vaults, dives, and touchdowns every Big Ten season? The Big Ten Network. This is big.
Welcome back to Focal Point News.
Meg, you dove into some history this week.
That's right, Michaela. It's a small car with a big part, with a big meaning, a symbol of pride, industry, and community right here in Lansing. Here's the story behind the lug nut.
Holding the town together at its core, a lug nut is the symbol for Lansing. But before it was a baseball team, it was something else entirely.
The lug nut is literally just the part that screws into the wheel that keeps the wheels on the vehicle.
The lug nut is a nod to Lansing's industrial past, a history many here say is at risk of being forgotten.
The nameplates, the history is just fading.
This wheel has 5 lug nuts. Take even one off and the ride gets a little shaky. That's why in Lansing, a lug nut has become a symbol of strength. Long before the part made its way onto baseball caps, Lansing was already tightening its place in history through R.E. Olds, as in Oldsmobile.
The mass production of automobiles started in Lansing, not Detroit.
And for the people who grew up here, that legacy is personal.
Very hungry place, and people that grew up around here are very proud of it.
Still, keeping that history alive takes more than just pride.
Still a lot of connection with the automobile industry. It's just needs to be brought back together.
In the 90s, a new symbol rolled into town.
And the Booster Club pays to have that installed. And the lights lighted up. That is all from the Booster Club to say the lug nuts are in town.
And more than 25 years later, the Stadium District has done just what it set out to do.
I think that the Stadium District is exactly as they hoped and intended that it would be. So it has fastened things, I would argue, in downtown Lansing.
Small as it is, a lug nut keeps more than just cars rolling. It keeps the city alive. In Lansing, Meg Vandermark, Focal Point News.
If you want to learn more about the city's automotive history, you can visit the R.E. Olds Transportation Museum in Lansing.
Thanks, Meg. Speaking of the lug nuts, we're going to continue the show with some sports.
Focal Point's Jack David is over in the Spartan newsroom, and he's got what our Spartan athletes have been up to. Jack?
Thank you, Michaela and Meg. Fall sports are in full swing, and one of the biggest fall sports is, of course, football. The football team suffered its first loss of the year from the USC Trojans early Sunday morning. It was all Trojans in the first half as they scored 24 points to the Spartans' 10. The green-white clawed back in the second half, pulling the score to within 7. This proved to not be good enough as the USC pulled away to make the final score 45-31. Moving on to the hardwood, one of the hottest teams on campus right now is the MSU volleyball team. Last weekend, they won 3 straight games in the Kathy DeBoer Invitational, finishing out the Invitational last Saturday. The Invitational wrapped up with the team taking on the SIUE Cougars. The first 2 sets for the squad were a breeze, with amazing plays like this one. The Cougars responded in the third set, 26-14, so the Spartans looked to regroup with head coach Christian Kelsey. That regrouping worked as they took the 4th set easily, winning 25-14. Redshirt freshman setter Malaya Long led the team with 37 assists, and senior opposite hitter Eva Duzema recorded 15 kills. A few days later, the Spartans dropped their first game of the season against the Minnesota Golden Gophers. While the team put up their best fight, the Gophers swept MSU in straight sets. Duzema once again led the squad with 13 kills and Long had 35 assists. Taking it from the hardwood to the grass now, let's talk about MSU's women's soccer team. The Green and White had their Big Ten home opener last Thursday as they took on the number 4 ranked UCLA Bruins. DeMartin Stadium was a madhouse as the Spartans looked to secure their first ever victory over the Bruins. Junior defender Kennedy Bell grabbed an early lead for the Spartans with this breakaway finish, which sent the Red Cedar Rowdies in a frenzy. Early in the second half, UCLA's Kara Kroon capitalized on MSU freshman goalkeeper Noelle Henning's error. This knotted the game up at 1-1 as they headed into the final stretch of the game. Henning recovered though, as she made a crucial save in the final minute of the game to make the final score a 1-1 draw for the Spartans. Following the tie against UCLA, MSU took on their California USC on Sunday. The Spartans got started early, with Bell putting the first points on the board in just 40 seconds in the game. After halftime, Bell was right back on the board with an assist to junior midfielder. The two continued to pass the rock as Bell would score once more, but it would be senior defender Remini Tillotson to finish out the game with this penalty shot to make the score 4-0. Henning had 3 saves for the Green and White and for her second shutout of the season. This 4-0 victory improved MSU's record to 4-2-4 heading into the matchup against Minnesota. The Spartans took care of business in Minneapolis, capturing a 2-1 win. It was all Golden Gophers in the first half as Paige Kalal nabbed a goal. The Green and White responded in force in the second half with goals from Bell and junior midfielder Emerson Sargent. This was Bell's 8th goal of the year and Sargent's first. Let's stay on soccer as we pivot from the women's team to the men's team. After dropping their Big Ten opener to the Washington Huskies, MSU hoped to get back to their winning ways against the Ohio State Buckeyes. After the first 30 minutes were completely scoreless, Buckeyes' Marko Barkovic got taken down in the penalty box by Michigan State junior midfielder Miles Merritt. This lined up Barkovic with a penalty kick opportunity, which he would make to put up Ohio State up 1-0. Just 5 minutes later, the Spartans responded when freshman midfielder Peter Sudan put the ball on the back of the net to make things even going into half. The defensive battle continued into the second half, but it wouldn't take long for freshman forward Chim Okeke to score his first collegiate point to make the score 2-1. But just like that, Ohio State responded minutes later when Aaron Hurge tapped in the goal right behind the outstretched hands of a diving redshirt senior goalkeeper, Zach Kelly. In quick succession, the Scarlet and Gray took the lead off the head of Barkovic. This goal would be it for the two squads as the Buckeyes came away with a 3-2 victory. The Spartans responded to that loss in a major way on Tuesday as they upset the number 3 Indiana Hoosiers 1-0. The first half of the game was completely scoreless, but it didn't take long in the second half for Sudan to take the lead for the Spartans. After a half littered with saves, no one else scored, and the Spartans took home the much-needed top 5 victory. Emma Sports will continue throughout the weekend into next, and Spartans are playing throughout the country and right here in East Lansing. That's all from the newsroom. I'll send it back to Michaela and Meg in the studio.
Thanks for the update, Jack. And if you're feeling a little hungry after all that athletic news, we have just the story for you.
That we do. In Okemos, the Meridian Township Fire Department and the local Scouts of America came together to serve pancakes to the community. They raised funds for the Scouts and for the Muscular Dystrophy Association. Focal Point's Ryan Morris spoke to members of both groups to get the bigger story.
I got started on the first pancake breakfast in 2017.
A local scout leader with Scouts of America partnered up with the Meridian Township Fire Department for its 8th annual Pancake Breakfast fundraiser. This is in order to fund the campership for the Scouts, as well as other essentials.
On average, we've probably funded 6 or 7 kids to summer camp or youth leader training.
Firefighters helping Scouts cook breakfast have their own cause they're raising money for, the Muscular Dystrophy Association.
It's for MDA, which is an organization for the past 75 years. It has supported those with neuromuscular diseases. The donations go towards research to prolong and improve the lives of those afflicted with these diseases. It also helps directly with like providing wheelchairs or access to health care.
They raised over $2,500 at the door.
When in doubt, food brings communities together. That's all for now. I'll catch you on the flip side. In Okemos, Ryan Morris, Focal Point News.
Well, I'm definitely hungry now. Even though this fundraiser is over, if you have an interest in donating to or helping the Muscular Dystrophy Association or Scouts of America, go to their websites to find out more.
Sticking with the morning theme, Focal Point's Braden Willis woke up early and got to experience some good coffee,
which was combined with some furry friends. Here's Braden with the story.
For some, a crisp fall morning looks like a lot of different things. On this sunny Sunday, it looked a lot like the Harris Nature Center in Okemos. Sights like the fresh morning sun reflecting off dew on the grass, and the color green as far as the eye can see. Through the air are sounds like the wind blowing, birds chirping, water running, and maybe even a talking crow. But on this particular Sunday, the duo of sights and sounds were overshadowed by two other things that you would normally enjoy from the comfort of your home. A little later, a few folks like Stephanie Shames and Summer Still gathered to share an experience of their two favorite things, dogs and coffee. Along with them came their four-legged friends, Fiona.
She's a 13-year-old lab pit bull mix. I adopted her in 2020, so I call her my silver lining of the pandemic.
And Pollyanna Banana.
She is 15 years young, and she's actually a retired demo dog, so she's kind of like a little doggy ambassador now in her retirement.
For a trek along a wooded path.
So our trail today was a little over 2.5 miles. We take our Eastgate connection out, we do the whole big Eastgate loop, and then we come right back.
Whether you're a seasoned veteran
She just loves coming to all these events.
or a first-timer,
I was looking sort of online for community events, and I saw this, and I said, yeah, dogs and coffee are my two favorite things. So
what turned out to be more rewarding than Fido and Folgers
I live on my own, and so I was really excited to get out and meet people with similar interests and, you know, go for a walk in nature.
was a sense of togetherness, belonging, and adventure.
I mean, we love doing this kind of stuff. This is a new event, so we're excited to see that it's continued to bring people in.
Three things that, in the end, came to be the real treat for a path well walked.
Let's go again!
In Okemos, I'm Braden Willis, Focal Point News.
Thank you, Braden, for reminding us to appreciate the finer things in life.
I mean, I would have preferred coffee and cats, but those dogs were so cute.
That's all we have for you this week on Focal Point News. As always, thank you for tuning in.
We'll be back next week with more news from our MSU campus and the Mid-Michigan community.
Until then, I'm Meg Vandermark.
And I'm Michaela Mazza. Have a great week, Spartans.